Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Here is the Phalaenopsis bloom update for the month of December. December is practically done, so let's call this winter. Part 1. Why part 1? Well, you know how phals are. Some will be opening up and some are still going. Alright, let's go. Let's start with Phalaenopsis amboinensis Tas Giant. I've had this guy for about, did I get it like 3 years ago? And as you can see, it does actually have some of its buds not developed yet. And it is dry as bone. Yes, I like to keep them dry. Phalaenopsis amboinensis Tas Giant possesses a fresh, lemony fragrance. For those of you who like something akin to fabric softener, this would be the one for you. I know there's some amboinensis that can tend to be a bit more spicy. This one is not. Tas Giant has the capability of becoming very large, as you can see. The leaves are and have been becoming bigger and bigger as they go. Yes, I burnt it in the summer. Next up is this guy, Phalaenopsis Monclair AMAOS. Now this one usually has a bit more flowers, and it kind of just started to open up. It tends to have a more rosy fragrance than I expected, because it was described as spicy, but it's more like an old classic rose with grapes. It's a cross of Phalaenopsis Spot cross Black Eagle and is available at orchids.com. I am not sponsored. That's just where I got it from, people. Anywho, speaking of, this one is from Orchid Classics, and it is the Phalaenopsis. What was the name of you again? This is Silverleaf Fragrance. Look at these flowers. Now this one has beautiful speckled leaves, courtesy of its parent, Phalaenopsis schilleriana, in its ancestry, actually. Now, I really am not doing this plant justice by showing it right now, because when it is in full bloom, it is a sight to behold. And as you can see, it has 3 spikes this year and lots of unopened buds. Let's try and get up close into this flower. Look at the details. Each year, depending on the temperatures, it tends to be a lighter pink or a darker pink. This year, for some reason, it's tinged kind of orange. Not sure why. Now, the scent on this one is powdery, fresh, kind of like DKNY Donna Karen, that older something mist. DKNY Donna Karen powder mist. I remember that perfume. It was like from so long ago. Anyway, it's a musky powdery scent, but because there's an addition of more let me sniff it 1 second. Oh yeah, there's an undertone of spice in it, which tempers that powder. Absolutely beautiful. Available from Orchid Classics. Now here we have this one labeled Phalaenopsis Pink from Tropic Orchids, but I honestly think this is Pink Girl. The size of the flower and the dark leaves, this is definitely Phalaenopsis Pink Girl, because my one from Mickey Orchids, which is Pinlong Sherry, actually has these mottled leaves. What is surviving of mine, because it got severe sunburn, but surprisingly, it has 2 spikes. So it is a fighter. I'm a survivor. Anyway, moving forth. My no ID is also having its bud, but it's not open. Here we go with Young Home Phalaenopsis Golden Pixie. She still has old buds, and this thing has stayed in bloom since summer. It just will not stop. So yeah. Anywho, now we have Phalaenopsis Pink. Oh, sorry, Yathon Pink Bee. Let me go from read the tag and not from memory. Yep, you found pink bee, sweetheart. Duh, I was right. Okay, so this year, I remember when it first bloomed, it gave me like 2 flowers. Yeah, this year we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not all open, but the scent on this guy, yum, yum, yum. It is like lemonade for some very odd reason, and I love it. Who are you again, kitty face? Something face. Vio cat face. This one does have a dominant fragrance of its Bellina parentage. And right now in here, my humidity is kind of low, 32% at 77 degrees with the heat. And she's not putting off her scent today. So let's ignore her for a while, but she's still beautiful. Oh, I can't wait to show you guys the Hoyas when they are in bloom. But we're talking about the phals today. Now, speaking of temperature variation, look at this no ID phal that I thought was Leodora. These flowers opened when it was cooler. Like I wasn't turning on the heat in the greenhouse when I first moved them in. And see the color that they opened? Way lighter than these. Same plant. So if your plants open their flowers when it's warmer, even if it's winter in your grow space, you will have a beautiful variation in color on the flowers themselves. You can actually test this out by moving your plants from wherever you have them sitting and just changing them to a different window or a different room in the house. And you'd be surprised at the variation that you can get. Remember guys, if you're keeping your plants on the windowsill, do not move it any further than about 12 inches, especially if you're in a lower light latitude like zone 6 where I am. Zone 5, 6, 4, all you guys, the plants need to be up against the window basically, for the most part. Don't take my word for it though, because sometimes you can actually do take my words for it. You can get too low a light if you're in these higher grow zones, because the sun is just not as powerful as if you were living in Florida, which I lived in Florida before. Putting the plant right up against the window is a bad idea. It will burn it. Don't do that. But when you're in zone 6, you actually can get away with doing that way more often. Why is my cat on top of the greenhouse? Like, is there nowhere else to go? Ferdinand! Anyway, so, ooh, look at these juicy buds on the pubic calyx Hoya. That is not why we're here, people. Let's get it together. Gather or focus. So on part 2, I will show you the rest of the phals when they actually open up their flowers, because many of them have not opened them as yet. Thanks for tuning in to look at these flowers that are open in December, basically the last days of December. I hope you're enjoying your holidays and getting ready for a fantastic new year. Boy, do I hope 2024 has some great things in store. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Goodbye.